you ask what is fan, what is table, what is chair, and then you also ask what is freedom. What is common between all these statements? We need to consider this because often we think that inquiry means asking questions. And questions are of this nature, right? So, what is fan, what is table, what is chair, what is the tree, and then you also ask what is freedom. Now, what has happened? Look at it very sharply. You will have to look at it exactly as you look at a mathematical situation. What is an operator. Do you know what an operator is? Now, what is an operator that you have applied to fan, table, chair, tree, and freedom? When you are applying the what is operator on all these things, what are you doing?
Trying to know what.
You are saying that freedom is in the same dimension, freedom has the same dimension as table, chair, fan and tree. Are you getting it? Not getting it. Before you can attach what is to something, it must be something to which what is relevant, correct? Assume I ask, what is the color of red? Or rather, what is the taste of red? Is what is relevant here? Is what is relevant here? So when you ask a question, what are you doing really? When you ask a question, you have already decided the dimension in which you want the answer. Now the answer can never really be in the same dimension as the question, otherwise it cannot satisfy the question. By asking question, you are limiting the scope of the teacher to give an answer. You're not getting it. Suppose you ask what is freedom. Now you want an answer to this question in the same way as you want an answer to the question what is table, chair, tree and fan. Now freedom cannot be explained in the same way. The word what is, the phrase what is, the operator what is might not be relevant to freedom at all. But you want to know what is freedom? Sir, what is God? Real inquiry is less about asking questions and more about listening attentively. And remember, listening does not mean agreeing or disagreeing. Listening means understanding. At a railway station, inquiry means asking question. In life, inquiry means silence. Can you remember this? At a railway station, inquiry means asking question. In life, real inquiry happens in silence. Because only in silence can you listen. Only in silence can the answers come to you. Is that clear? Emptiness is not about being like an empty cup. Because an empty cup will keep getting full and will only have limited capacity. Beyond that, it cannot live or know. Right? Full. So full. Emptiness means being like the hollow flute. Not like the empty cup, but like the hollow flute. So more and more music can pass through it. You don't have to retain. The air is passing and the music is instantaneous. Does the flute retain the air? Does the flute retain the music? It is all in the present. There is no need to retain. There is no need to retain. The flute is not at all possessive about the air. It lets the air freely pass. And because it lets the air freely pass, so what you get is music. In a cup there is no music. Right? A hollow flute. A hollow.
We should always be ready to learn new things and analyze them.
And also not let them influence you. There is really no need to put them in memory. There is really no need. Connect this to the first question of today. Does a flute make experience of things? Will a flute ever say, I am a very experienced flute? A very old flute and a very new flute. Is there any difference between these two? Both know nothing. Both have just let life pass through them. Are you getting it? So the old flute has seen much, experienced much, gone through much, but it has not become a reservoir of experience. It has passed through experience without letting the experience corrupt it. And that is also the successful man who can live through all the experience and yet retain his childlike innocence. He knows everything. He has seen life. He has experienced everything, and yet he is very innocent. That is real success. A flute-like man who has experienced everything, and yet he has not let experience corrupt him. Is that clear? Complexity is to live in thoughts of many. Simplicity is to know just two. Just two. Those two, colon, two के बाद colon. Truth and illusion. Truth and illusion. तो अगर मैं तुम्हें कुछ चीजें लिखवाऊं, मान लो मैं लिखवाता हूं कैरियर, फियर, कंपटीशन, फ्यूचर, कॉम्प्रोमाइज, impression, wants, desires, love, religion, temple, attraction, money, sex. Truth, freedom. So there is an entire laundry list of words that is given to you. The complex mind will think that all of these are different things. उसके लिए ये सब अलग अलग है. सिंपल माइंड के लिए सिर्फ दो कैटेगरी होती है. कौन सी दो कैटेगरी? ट्रूथ एंड इल्यूजन. वो और कुछ देखता ही नहीं, वो बस दुनिया को देखता है और उसे दो ही चीजें दिखाई देती हैं, या तो सच है या मिथ है, या तो सच है या मिथ है. ये सिंपल है, सिंपल ऑब्जर्वेशन. मुझे बहुत उसमें डाइवर्सिटी दिखाई ही नहीं देती. जो बात सच्ची है वो सच्ची है और जो झूठी है वो झूठी है. अब फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि झूठी बात कहाँ से आ रही है. मैं उसमें कोई भेदभाव नहीं करूंगा कि झूठी बात अगर दोस्तों ने बोल दी तो कम झूठी है, और झूठी बात अगर दुश्मनों ने बोल दी तो ज्यादा झूठी है. मेरे लिए सिर्फ दो कैटेगरीज हैं. क्या? सच और झूठ. और सच माने क्या? वो जो बदल न जाए, वो जो प्रभावित ना हो जाए, वो जो वाकई खरा है, असली है. बात समझ रहे हो? एक सिंपल माइंड ये नहीं कहता है कि मैंने गलती करी है तो वो गलती कुछ और कहलाएगी, और तुमने गलती करी है तो गलती कुछ और कहलाएगी। वो कहेगा गलती तो गलती है, बात खत्म। कॉम्प्लेक्स माइंड कैटेगरीज बनाएगा, डिविजन्स बनाएगा, डाइवर्सिटी बनाएगा। सिंपल माइंड कहेगा लव इज लव, कॉम्प्लेक्स माइंड कहेगा नहीं, देखिए कई तरह के लव होते हैं। लव टुवर्ड्स एक्स गर्लफ्रेंड, लव टुवर्ड्स चाचा, लव टुवर्ड्स चाची, लव टुवर्ड्स पेट डॉग, लव टुवर्ड्स मदर, लव टुवर्ड्स नेशन, लव टुवर्ड्स गॉड। ये कॉम्प्लेक्स माइंड है जिसने बड़ी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी पैदा कर दी 70-80 तरीके के लव निकाल के। और जो सिंपल माइंड होगा वो क्या कहेगा? लव इज लव, बात खत्म। या तो प्यार है या नहीं है, उसमें मैं वर्ग नहीं बना सकता। अरे वैसा superficial freedom colon freedom from others colon. Superficial freedom is freedom from others. Real freedom is freedom from oneself. Superficial freedom is freedom from others, and real freedom is freedom from oneself. What was the example that we had taken? What was the example that we had taken? Cold drink. So superficial freedom would mean that if he will dictate me, then I will not drink the cold drink. And real freedom would mean, what would real freedom mean? That even if I want to drink, even if this mind says drink, yet I will not drink. So freedom from oneself. Real freedom is freedom from oneself, right?
Thinking of past but not living in present is maybe defined as present. We are not today living in our present. We always have thoughts of our past which are very beautiful, and we when those memories come into our mind, we used to enjoy that and waste our time in that enjoying only. We never thought of our present time and spend time on those things which we have to do in present.
Presence actually means when our mind is completely present at the place where we are. If we are thinking about our past, our mind constantly revolves around the things which have gone in the past, and we still keep on thinking, we still keep on pondering on those things which have happened in the past, and we completely neglect our presence on the place where we are present, where our mind needs to think, to ponder on the things that are happening over there.
What is presence? Note down. Draw a circle. Draw a circle and its center. Shade the whole thing and call it mind. Shade the entire thing and call it mind, and name the center as I. Shade it and write mind on it. Name the center as I. Not only shade it, also make arrows on it which denote circulation, and circulation movement random in all directions, like this. This, circular, horizontal, even upwards, downwards, all kinds of movements. Make arrows pointing in all 360-degree directions in the mind. Alright? This is presence. The mind might keep on moving. The mind might be full of the world. The mind might need to think of 1,000 things. Yet, I am fully present at the center. I am not moving. What is moving? Mind is moving. my presence is not being shaken. So even while thinking of this and that, my composure is intact, my peace is intact. Whatever I am doing, I am not feeling jittery. Is that clear? One of the arrows can refer to eating, one of the arrows can refer to talking to somebody, one of the arrows can refer to seeing a TNP notice. Whatever is happening on the outside, on the inside, I am simply present. I am not disappearing, not moving, not disappearing, not being displaced. This is presence. Is this clear?
Is there something like we need to focus all the arrows towards the eye itself? Like we need to look at
There is no need.
particular
There is
thing,
no
or-
need. There is no need. Just the presence of the eye at the center is sufficient. Just that presence is sufficient. Let there be complete freedom in where the mind wants to go. Let it think about the bird, let it think about that. You remain present. Do not, there is really no need to control it. The control will happen automatically when that eye is right there at the center. Go ahead. Our usual happiness always comes from conditioning. That is why different people are happy about different things. That is why different people are happy about different things. There is always a reason why somebody is happy. There is always a reason why somebody is happy. Reason के आगे ब्रैकेट में कंडीशनिंग लिखते हैं. There is always a reason why somebody is happy. Joy is happiness without reason. Simplest definition in 5 words. Joy is happiness without reason. Whenever you feel happy, without reason, simply there is no reason, but you are alright. And it is not a very loud happiness. You won't be jumping or shouting or dancing. Joy is a subtle happiness arising from nowhere. Right now, it does not come from any reason. Joy is a subtle happiness arising from nowhere.